Hello friends, how are you all? Today I've come up with lesson planning, that is pedagogy of economics. This is a lesson plan. What all we need to do in developing a lesson plan when we are going through making a macro lesson plan and a micro lesson plan. So here are some of my notes which I am providing to you, and later I'll just uh, give them in a PDF form in my Telegram channel. So just now I am making a video of my channel lesson planning and trying to tell you how it can help us in making a lesson plan. Okay, now I start. Okay, a lesson plan indicates the aims to be realized by teaching a lesson, the methods to be employed, and the activities to be undertaken in the class so that it is kept engaged for the realization of the aims. Basically, lesson plan is that which aims at teaching and teaching a lesson and the methods which are employed for the activities, and it is basically made up of for certain principles. Like a lesson plan is actually a plan of action which includes working philosophy of a teacher, her information and understanding of the pupils, her comprehension of objectives of education, her knowledge of material to be taught, and ability to use effective methods of education. So all these we need to use in a lesson plan for actually making an effective lesson plan by a teacher to teach her students. Some of the definitions I am here mentioned here, like Bining and Bining stated, daily lesson planning involves defining the objectives, selecting and arranging the subject matter, and determining the methods and procedure. You can have a look and make a note of it. Now I turn to the next page. I'll be providing you the PDF in my Telegram channel, Let's Study B.Ed First Year. So here I'm just explaining you all the notes which I have made for my plans, lesson plan. Now the second one is the NL Bosing. Lesson plan is the title given to a statement or the achievements to be realized and the specific means by which we are to be attained. These are to be attained by which these are to be attained a result of the activities engaged in our day-to-day under the guidance of the teacher. It can be conducted from the above definitions that lesson plan is a blueprint. Of course, when we are preparing a lesson plan, we should always remember that you should be making a blueprint before preparing a model question paper for a lesson plan. Okay, now it is a guide for an action, it is a creative piece of work, it is a comprehensive chart of classroom teaching, a systematic approach for the teaching of concepts, skills and understanding, and it is the teacher's mental and emotional visualization of classroom experiences as he plans to occur. Now coming to the next page, here I have defined some of the characteristics of good lesson plan. Good lesson plan should be written and definite. The objective should be clear. The lesson plan should be linked with previous knowledge. It should consist various techniques of teaching. It should contain suitable subject matter. It should consist illustrative teaching aids and should be divided into sections and units. Should include various activities. The teacher should prepare the lesson plan for individual differences. The lesson plan should indicate certain routine things, should be flexible, should provide evaluation, and should include home assignments for the students. And the lesson plan also should be prepared and taught within predetermined time. There should be a specific time. It does not mean that if you are teaching a lesson plan to a student, you will take 1 to 2 hours. No, you can just, there's a certain specific limit for a lesson plan. If you are teaching for a certain period, if you can say you can teach for 30 to 35 minutes of a period in a class, a certain part of lesson plan or the whole lesson plan to the student. And it should also include the summary. The lesson plan should refer to the reference material. All these are the notes. Now there are certain approaches of the lesson plan. Here they are mentioned, like Herbartian approach, which is also known as 5-step approach. The Bloom's approach, which is having 3 evaluation approaches in it: educational, objective, and basically cognitive, affective and psychomotor objectives. And the third one is the Morrison's approach or the unit method approach. Here I'll be discussing with you in detail all these approaches, and first I am just mentioning them out. The project method approach, the Indian approach of RCM approach. Now these are 5 of the approaches which are used in lesson planning basically for teaching in a school. The first is the Herbartian approach or the 5-step approach. It was developed by J.F. Herbert and it follows the 5-step approach of lesson planning. Basically, it propounded 4 steps: clearness, association, system and method, and these are further divided into clearness to preparation, association to presentation, system to abstract and method to application. Now coming to the steps of Herbartian approach. There are, as I told you, there are 5 steps included in Herbartian approach. So these are preparation. First we will be preparing a lesson plan, then we will be presenting it to the students, how we are asking the questions to them, and in all that we will be coming about later, like we will be asking probing questions, problematic questions and developing questions to the students. And then after that we will be doing in third step association and comparison. We will be comparing the students evaluation about how much they have learned through our presentation which we were teaching in our lesson plan. After the fourth step is generalization, and fifth step is application. Here I am just discussing today about the Herbartian approach in detail with you. Tomorrow I will be discussing the Morrison's approach and all other approaches with you one by one. Okay, now we come to preparation. This step is concerned with the task of preparing the students for recovering new knowledge. Means you have to recover previous knowledge. The student should know about the previous knowledge. In preparation, nothing new is taught to the students. Relevant to the topic is in advance. The teacher should make himself sure of what the pupils already know by putting a few questions based on the pupils' previous. Like you can say, for an example, if you want to discuss about a warehouse, you can say that where do we store our preserved food? The children will answer you like, we store our food in fridge or a storeroom which is having a cold temperature. Like this, all sort of questions you will be asking. You are actually preparing a student. You are taking out the previous knowledge from him. Now the second point in this is relevant to the topic is in advance. Sorry, I discussed it earlier. Third point is in general, with the help of this step, the teacher can check the student's entering behavior before he starts teaching the lesson. Thus, testing previous knowledge, developing interest in the minds of students and maintaining curiosity of the students can be achieved with the help of this step. Now coming to the purpose of preparation step. What is the main purpose behind the preparation step? The assumptions about the previous knowledge, whatever the student is having in relevance to the lesson, the testing. The teacher will test the previous knowledge. The teacher will utilize the previous knowledge for introducing the lesson, whatever the current lesson she is teaching to the students, and motivating the students for studying the present lesson. The second step comes here, presentation, the main part of the lesson, the heart of the lesson you can say, where a teacher is going to tell you about whatever all there is in the lesson. She will teach you, give you some new knowledge about related to the previous knowledge. Now, it is a key step only through which the actual process of teaching is going to take place. Here the aims of the lesson should be stated clearly. The aims should be created. The heading should be written on the blackboard. We have to provide situation for both the teacher and the students to participate in the process of teaching and learning. Here both active participation is involved in for the teacher and the student. She is asking questions, students are listening. All sorts of things will happen here. And the basic ultimate aim of presentation is to make the concepts understandable. Basically here the teacher is making the concepts clear to the students. Therefore simple language is used by the teacher for the students. Now we come to the next page. Here, appropriate and specific examples and illustrations of the concepts will make the understanding better. Of course, if the teacher will make the concepts clear, of course she will give examples of those concepts. Of course, the children will understand the lesson clearly only. So, in this, the interest of the students also is involved. The interest of the students on the subject matter should be maintained continuously by the way of asking questions from time to time in this usage. Of course, teacher should also see that children are actively participating in the presentation topic of her lesson plan. The teacher should carefully and skillfully arrange her material so that the pupils may clearly and readily grasp it. She should be very skillful and she should be all set ready with her material for the students to grasp that knowledge of lesson plan, whatever she is teaching to the students. And she should also make proper use of generations, charts, graphs, pictures, whatever drawings, blackboard drawings, whatever she is making for a lesson plan, she should of course demonstrate with explanation all those charts, everything to the students clearly. Now the third step is comparison of association. More importance should be given in this stage to compare the facts observed by the students with another concept by way of giving examples. By way of making use of these examples, by making use of this comparisons, the student can define definitions or theories. Of course, if she will compare the facts and give the examples, the students will definitely give you the answers in the form of definitions of the particular lesson whatever she is teaching in the class. The students are encouraged through suitable examples, and they can of course come with some certain examples also with from their own ideas, and make them think in an innovative manner. This will make the child creative. His or her thinking skills will develop. All these cognitive and cognitive skills are developed in teaching a lesson plan. Now coming to the fourth step. Here it is generalization. This step is concerned with arriving at some general ideas or drawing out the necessary conclusions by the students on the basis of the different comparison, contracts and associated observed in the learning material present by the teacher. As far as possible, the task of formulation should be left to students. The teacher at this stage should try to remain in the background for providing only necessary guidance and correction. Here the children will come out with new ideas, new conclusions, and they will now give the answer when the presentation and comparison is being done. Now they have understood the lesson plan, and now they are just analyzing and giving the answers to the teacher, and teacher is just sitting back and listening whether the student is speaking correctly in the topic whatever is given, whatever question is asked to him. And of course, if there is an error in her answers, of course she will be correcting and guiding the pupil in her class. Now the fifth step and the last step is application. In this step, the teacher makes the students to understand the understood knowledge in an unfamiliar situation. Unless the knowledge of science is applied in new situations or in our day-to-day life, the study of science will become meaningless. The application of scientific principles will strengthen learning and make the learning permanent. So, by doing all these activities, basically children will learn all these things, and of course will learn from their day-to-day experiences in their life, and and all this will strengthen their learning and learning capacities, and making that learning capacities permanent for the future, so that they can use them for future reference in the future. Okay, now there are some types of forms of applications. I am winding up quickly. forms like they can be in the type of solving problems, drawing of graphs, charts or models, writing of an essay, some practical work, sing of a new type test, like these types. And last is the recapitulation. This step is meant for the teachers to know whether students have grasped or reviewing a lesson or by giving assignments to the students. Only through this step achieving closure in teaching is possible. It means that when the teacher is finished up with her lesson, of course she will be giving some kind of homework to the students so that she can know how much the student have learned. In this recapitulation basically means certain type of homework, or you can say match the following, in the form of match the following, some project work, whatever, such type of thing in which children's cognitive skills and creative skills are involved. It is basically meant for that purpose. So hope you have all understood this topic in making a lesson plan. When a teacher is making a lesson plan, all these tools in form of 5 steps will be helping her to make her lesson plan for a particular topic or for a particular class. Okay, thank you guys. I'll be uploading the PDF on my Telegram channel for this. Thank you so much.